All right, so I figured we chop it up a little bit since it's been a while since we've done a podcast for wrestling. I can't even remember the last time that we even recorded, but I thought we should talk about which been the buzz within the internet wrestling community, just like the slow or even lackluster sales of two big events within WWE and AEW, that being SummerSlam for WWE, and All In, yes, I'm bugging. All In for AEW. So I just on WrestleTix right now, looking at it as of 2 hours ago. They have an updated for AEW. They have sold about just over 31,000, with a little bit close to 9,000 tickets available. Just over 40,000 is the current setup. Now I looked at a WWE's Night 2 for SummerSlam, and damn, I just had it right now. They are currently at 22,000, just over 22,000 sold. And they have a current setup for just under 30,000. So that's the Night 2. I had Night 1, but I lost track of where it's at. That just seems overall alarming, I think, for both companies, but I would definitely say more alarming for WWE. It's just, I wonder if this just like is just what everybody thinks right now of the current landscape of professional wrestling, whereas like there's not enough creativity going on, redundancy in matches that we're seeing, nothing that's going to keep our like attention spans and keep us glued in to want to tune in week after week. That helps build up to these big shows. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on what's going on right now with these ticket sales.
I mean, I think it's a number of factors. I think the fact that it's in Minnesota this year. I mean, I've been to Minnesota. It's a great place, but it's not Vegas. It's not Miami. It's not somewhere that like tourists can go to, and then there's like a bunch of other stuff that they can do besides like go to the SummerSlam card. So I think that's kind of hurting ticket sales too. Also, the fact that WWE hasn't been clear about the card for Night 1 or Night 2. Like if someone's planning on going, most likely they're gonna have to buy tickets to both shows to like get that full experience. And the tickets are just like crazy expensive right now. You know.
Well, did you see the latest promotion that they have? I think they said tickets are starting as low as $25.
That's crazy. I didn't hear about that.
Yeah,
last time I saw, I think on WrestleTix they said the cheapest was like 76. So that's a big deal if it's 25. Like,
yeah,
they can move some tickets within the next few weeks.
Because of what they're a week, 2 weeks from 2 weeks from today would be Night 2, right?
Yeah,
I believe. Yep.
Yeah. So, and I mean, I think the card has progressively gotten stronger, to the point where you can kind of argue what's going to be the main event for Night 1 and Night 2. I think like Cody and Punk and Seth and Roman's probably going to main event one of those nights. My issue with both those matches is that like WWE really hasn't like been clear about who is the heel and who's the baby face going into the matches. Like maybe they're deciding to let the fans decide who they want to cheer for, but I think like there's kind of a lack of genuine heat, especially between Cody and Punk. Like now, I don't know if you saw Saturday night's main event or whatever.
Did he get a chance to watch it?
Yeah, they towards the end they sort of tease like some friction between Punk and Cody, but they're still kind of teasing that they're sort of friends and stuff. But there's not really a lot of heat to the match other than it's for the title. And then for Seth and Roman, I think WWE's really digging into like their history to try to make the match like seem a lot more important, you know, like talking about the Shield and stuff. And they've been on Raw, they've been doing sort of like recaps about the history of the Shield and like, you know, the betrayal, like Seth betraying Roman and Dean Ambrose, Moxley.
Yep.
And they'll show Moxley's face for like half a second and then cut away. So
yep.
It was kind of funny, but it's like I think those are marquee matchups, but to me, there's just a lack of heat, like a lack of. I don't. Do you give a shit who wins any of those matches? Like, I don't. I'll watch it,
Yeah.
but I'm not invested, like rooted. Like,
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we talked about like the main event. I think that it should be hands down. Night two should be Punk and Cody, only because that seems like it's more fresh. Whereas we've seen like Roman and Seth like fight numerous times. They've been on the in the main title scene since like almost if not a decade. Am I bugging? Like we've seen that so many times. Like I think that's kind of what's hurting WWE too, is the fact that they're not really trying to evolve and like get some new fresh faces in the title scene. The fact that they haven't had a male champion born in the '90s is insane.
yeah.
Not yet.
At one point, it looked like it was going to be Braun Breaker, but
Yeah.
they've cooled down on him a lot over the last like few months or so.
And I think the vision that vision angle has like kind of like stunted his growth and the development into like a major player in the company. Like Obafemi, a lot of people think that Obafemi, like which I thought was just stupid, the fact that he won the King of the Ring, then he elects not to go for the title at SummerSlam, but he's gonna want to fight Brock Lesnar one more time. Like that's just pointless. A lot of people think that WWE is kind of like they're like rolling like they're trying to like roll the dice with electing to hold off on Oba's like rise to stardom and put the belt on him and probably wait for Mania to have him and Roman Reigns face off. But at the same time, it's in Saudi. It's not going to hit the same like it would in the States if that match was to take place. So I think why not just put the belt on him at SummerSlam? If you're going to be in Saudi, you know that you can't take all this time. He's like pretty much compared to like Goldberg, like his aura and everything. The crowd like chant Oba like they chanted Goldberg. What happened with Goldberg? They just put the belt on him like that now, and they did it on for free on television. But at the same time, I understand that there was a big war going on between them and WWE. At that point, I think that was the last time they won the ratings, the WCW with Nitro when Goldberg won the title. But it's still similar. Like the point is, you just can't like hold it off. The crowd is invested into him. They love him. Just get it done, man. That's what I think they should have did.
I mean, I think Roman is still hot enough that taking the belt off of him at this stage would like I think Oba they can afford to have Oba's run to the title extend out a little bit more. The reasoning was kind of dumb. Like he was like, oh, like if he said if I went for the title, then like Brock would just interfere and cost me it. So he's like, I might as well just face Brock at SummerSlam. It's like, all right, then why put Oba in the King of the Ring tournament in the first place? Like
You could have had Seth win a King of the Ring tournament, and then yeah,
that would have made sense
match
too.
it up with Roman.
Yeah,
So
that would have made
I
sense.
don't.
Like I understand they wanted to give Oba like some type of accolade, but WWE like it's been like a couple years since they started that stipulation of like the King of the Ring gets a title shot, and they're already like going back on it. Like so, I mean, and I still think it was a mistake to have Oba lose to Brock. Like I,
Mm-hmm.
I I get they want to do like now they're one
One on
win and
one.
one win, but it's like come on, man. They're fortunate that Oba somehow kept his aura and that the fans are still with him. He's still being perceived as like dominant. But I don't know. I don't know. Like I understand he took like what like 7 F5s or something crazy
Mm.
like that. But it's like don't pin this dude. Like to your point about Goldberg, the undefeated streak that
Yeah,
went on for like what, well over a year at least, right?
it was like 127-0, I think, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. So like I don't know. I think beating Oba that early could have been a mistake. But I think he has to go over Brock and no bullshit like retire Brock at SummerSlam in the
Yeah,
house.
there's nobody's gonna lose that match. Kind of reminds me of the little battle they had with Brock and Cody at the Mania 39 when they wrestled three times and the rubber match was in I think SummerSlam and Cody won. And
Yeah.
obviously that led to Cody eventually becoming champion. I think we're going to see a similar thing play out with Oba. Um, Now with the AEW, I do think that now the ticket sales have picked up since it got announced that it's going to be Omega versus Ospreay at Wembley for the championship match. It didn't hurt too that they did offer 50% off tickets that I've seen too as well. So the ticket has picked up, but at the same time, I just think that this is a result of Wembley fatigue. They've this was like their third time doing all in at Wembley Stadium. I also think that they need to consider just taking a break and trying to run ballparks like they did last year in Texas at Globe Life Field. I think they can do Yankee Stadium or Citi Field in Queens. I think New York is the biggest, hottest market for AEW. Yeah. So you can go that route. Or you want to go back to Dallas again and run that spot again, you can do that. But I think they just got to get away from Wembley for several years, not just not just next year and then go back there again, because clearly like we're seeing a decline in attendance from the first time it was there and everything. I mean, we saw WWE just went back to Vegas, tried to go back to Vegas, and look at that. Tickets were down by like 20,000 in attendance, whatever. So that's what I think is more. Although I don't think the product is necessarily that great in terms of the event, like being invested into the storylines. The matches are always deliver, but they're not like really their Ospreay storyline is not bad to me. I don't think it's great. But outside of that, there's not really any. Oh, and the world title scene was interesting. I know they were playing like hot potato with the title for a while and everything, but again, there's not something that's going to like intrigue. I think that's intriguing people to go to be there, where they can just watch from their couch, and they've already been to that event several times. If you already live in London, or if you fly out there for AEW events.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of diminishing returns, like returning to Wembley. Also, I mean, a lot of the card hasn't really been fleshed out yet. Like, yes, there's going to be Ospreay and Omega, and I think AEW sold like 1,000 tickets like in one day based on that match alone. Yeah. But right now, it seems like the rest of the card isn't shaping up. Like, I don't know.
We know Mercedes is going to fight either Tekla or Willow.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all we know.
Yeah. And, Hangman said that he like was never going to challenge for the AEW championship again, right?
I hate that, man. I hate it.
But like, where does that leave him though? Like,
exactly.
What kind of program is he going to have leading into All In? I think that's like kind of unclear. And then I'm trying to think what else they're doing. Like, to me, it's a little odd that they're doing the Redemption pay-per-view kind of like so close to All In. And then on top of that, having Kenny face Kevin Knight for the title. Because it's like Kevin Knight's not going to beat Kenny.
We know he's not going to beat Kenny Omega.
Yeah. And I think Kevin Knight's really good. Like, I think he's been doing a lot of good work. Like, with the Don Callis family, he's kind of made them even more interesting in a way. But it just seems like right now there's a lot of moving pieces in AEW. And, other than the men's world championship, there's not a lot of distinction between the belts. Like, I don't know what the difference is between like the international championship and then there's like the national championship. There's a TNT championship, and there's like 2 more men's belts, like, I think like the more belts they have, it kind of loses its significance.
Absolutely.
And I think it seems like they're going to do the Bucks versus Cope and Cage too. I think they sort of teased something last night in Collision, I think.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a big deal too. Like, you have like 2 of history's biggest tag teams.
Maybe that's a stage for the New Day to appear in AEW.
Has it been 90 days yet? Well, would it be 90 days up to that point? I forgot. Like,
I think so. I think it's late August. They'll be clear to sign wherever they want to. So that would make sense to them show up there. That would be have the internet buzzing for at least a few days.
I mean,
I don't know if it'll be a full week. Yeah, they can't keep their names, right? Because that sucks. Yeah, it's like the AEW. yeah, like I said, there's not really anything that I find myself between both promotions right now, just sitting there. I'm more of a passive viewer right now, where I'm on my phone a lot, just listening, not really looking, like keeping me eyes, because nothing is really like appealing to me to that point to make me want to like be tuned in and be locked in without me doing anything else. So I don't know. I think that these ticket sales are a reflection of that to some degree. And then the other instances where we've seen like repetitive stuff going on in WWE. They're not really a clear direction for creative with AEW. So now here we are with these lackluster or disappointing ticket sales. Although I would say WWE should be more disappointed the fact that they are the premier company of wrestling in the world. And when I sent you that the information, I thought it was like a parody page. Like, oh, that's real. Yeah, that's like the fact that they only set up at 30,000 in a stadium. You could have did a ballpark, or you could have did a basketball arena. In that case, to I don't know.
I mean, I think like in the era of TKO right now, it's about like these cities that are bidding to have WWE come and do like whatever, like one of their big four pay-per-views. So apparently Minnesota had the most money or promised the most to them this year. And I think WWE, like, they're still trying to work off the goodwill from a couple of years ago when they were like Whitehall. And right now there's like not really an incentive to want to go to these like 2-day events because they're expensive. Like independent from the tickets, like once you're in the building, you know this, like merchandise,
Food.
concessions, food. They got all these like different kinds of like VIP packages that people buy. Like it's expensive. It's expensive. And like, you know, the way the economy is right now, like for a family of four, it's like, can you afford to go to SummerSlam or even both nights when it's like so I think that's kind of the big issue. It's like the product isn't that hot where people are willing to shell out money like the way that they were even a couple of years ago.
Yeah. And then you brought it up. I forgot to mention that a mistake. We don't need another pay-per-view that's 2 nights. I think that they are like stretching themselves thin, creative with WWE and everything. Just keep it Mania, 2 nights. The only other pay-per-view I could see being 2 nights outside of Mania is the Rumble. Have the women headline one night and then the men headline night 2. That's the only thing that makes sense. Any other pay-per-view, keep it one night.
Yeah. Because it's exhausting to watch 2 Rumbles in one night.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense, you know?
Because Rumbles go at least an hour.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah.
So it's like no, I mean this lineup, they could have totally condensed it into one night. It's just they have a lot of extra shit. Like they just announced Gunther's gonna wrestle Nick Aldis. I don't know if you've heard about that. You know?
Yeah, I seen that.
So I mean that's cool. I don't know if you watched like TNA when he was Magnus in TNA.
I've seen like images of him being Magnus in TNA, but I haven't seen him. So I'm guessing he probably had like a career threatening injury, which is why he's like now he's been like a figure on television as opposed to wrestling full time or whatever.
So to my understanding, he's healthy.
Okay.
He's actually, I think he's like 39. I saw like there was
really?
like something. Yeah, he's like 39 years old. Like there was something online about like he's gonna be one of the younger performers on the card. You know. But I think he's healthy. He's actually a really good wrestler. He was in the NWA for a good amount of time. Like he was their champion. He's really good, just sort of like old school map based wrestler.
Yeah.
And I don't know why WWE brought him in as a GM in the first place. Or what their plans are going forward, but it's been a while since we had like a general manager that is like willing to throw hands. It's like,
oh yeah,
it's not like Teddy Long or someone like that.
Yeah, all right, I looked it up. Yeah, he's 39. Oh, he turns 40 a few days before me. That's crazy. I thought he was a little older than that. Oh, wow. Okay. So I hope I can get to watch SummerSlam and see that match. I just can't do it with ESPN, all those ads and that price point, man. And I think that might even play into it, be connected to what we're seeing with the people are getting turned up. I see a lot of people who complain. So did you get ESPN Unlimited?
No,
Or
so
you watch on VPN, right?
I use a VPN. So I'll put my VPN to like Canada, and then on Netflix International, they have everything. They have SmackDown, they have Raw, they have the pay-per-views, and during the commercial breaks, they don't actually have commercials. They have like video of like different superstars, you know, like so I like that because I'm not watching the commercials. Um, but I
But those
can't.
breaks are still pretty relatively extended, right?
Yeah,
Because a lot
yeah,
of
it's
people complain about the ads, and they're saying that ESPN they overpaid for WWE. They're not seeing the ROI that they expected to see. So as a result, they have to run all these ads to try to make up that
compensate.
difference.
Damn.
Yeah, which is like, damn, this is what sucks. They set it up. First of all, why the heck does anybody think that would be a good idea to be in the platform that charges you $30 a month to watch a PLE when for the past 10 plus years we've been paying like $10, $10
I
to
don't know.
$11. Like
I don't know. It's like
nothing good what came out of that.
I mean, and from my understanding, it's like for a lot of the non-wrestling fans who watch ESPN, like the WWE coverage is like probably like very annoying to them. You know, like they're like, who the hell's this Danhausen guy? Why is this guy on TV? Like this is just it's just weird. Like I think it's like kind of off-putting for the non-wrestling fans. And then for the wrestling fans, like you're asking to um for like buy a subscription that you use like maybe once a month and that's it. Like there's not really any other incentive to have ESPN unlimited. And to your point, like it used to be $10 like uh on Peacock. So like asking people to pay 3 times as much for the same content, arguably worse because like there's more commercials now. Like it's it's not a good business decision, I think.
Yeah, nah, real talk, man. And damn, I forgot what else I was gonna say. Oh yeah, I think you noticed this too. How like now for the PLEs, ESPN is like the first like
First
hour,
one,
right,
yeah.
for free on, and then they are pushing people to get the subscription, whatever, to watch the rest of the PLE. I haven't done that yet, man. I'm waiting. I have YouTube TV, and they're supposed to get ESPN Unlimited in the fall.
Wait, so
That's what I was told.
how do you watch the PLEs? Are you
I
not able to like
haven't watched the PLE. I haven't watched the PLE since SummerSlam last year.
damn.
Because then the next one was the first one, WrestlePalooza, and they moved it to the ESPN app. So yeah, I haven't watched that. I went to my man's crib to watch Survivor Series War Games at his crib, and I think he had the VIP you're talking about because he had the commercials weren't playing, but there was like different promo packages, like stuff like
Yeah.
that. And he was telling me like that because he's like, I think he said he paid like $100 for 4 years, and like that's not bad.
I do
If
like
that's
maybe like it's like I do the monthly plan, so it's like maybe
mm,
like $10 a month or whatever.
yeah.
And then I have like this like it's like I don't know if you heard about like an Nvidia Shield, but it's like a media box. So I just log on to Netflix, I log on to my VPN, and that's how I watch it. I think it's worth it. It's definitely worth it.
Yeah, that's worth it. I would look into that. I just gotta. So, what do you need to get a VPN? What do you need to do that? Like,
I mean, all you need is an internet connection. So, like, I mean, like a VPN, it's a dedicated IP address. It could be like in a different city or a different country, and it just tricks your um, internet connection to think like you're in somewhere different.
uh, to get
Um,
access to what they're watching there.
exactly,
Because I
exactly.
think everything outside of the U.S. is still on Netflix, right? Like all the PLEs are on Netflix outside of like
Yeah,
America. I think.
yeah. So I
Yeah.
mean, like international viewers, they really so they get SmackDown, right? If you wanna, so basically, like if you wanna catch up and watch all the content, you need the USA Network, right, to watch Raw. So that's like a standard cable pack. Oh no, actually Netflix. You need Netflix to watch Raw. SmackDown's on the USA Network, so you need like a standard cable package. And then I don't know. I watch NXT. NXT's on the CW. So you need to have like that's part of basic cable, and then like the PLE is ESPN Unlimited. So if someone's trying to watch all the content, that gets very expensive very quickly. You know, you kind of have to make choices about what you want to watch.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see like how that plays out and what the final count is for both promotions, summer events. But I figure since we're talking about this, I think that we should come together right now and put together our own Supercard between wrestlers between both programs. I mean, both companies. I figure we should do 6 matches. You know, WWE has like what 4 or 5 typically on the PLE. AEW was like what 8 to 10. So I thought the sweet part of being 6. We could do 7. But whatever you want to do. So I gave you the pool of wrestlers. Of course, you could pick more. And I kind of thought that we should stay away from people who haven't been on TV in quite some time, like a Bianca Belair, obviously Rhea Ripley now has been out for a while. Toni Storm.
So I want like someone that hasn't been on TV this year, or just like
or for yeah, I feel like they haven't really been active like that. Like, what are we gonna do? I guess Rhea counts. Although no, I probably Rhea shouldn't count because the belt's gonna be vacated and interim champion will be crowned at SummerSlam, so I'm guessing she shouldn't. Heyman's tricky. He just came back, but in what role? What are we gonna see? So I was like, that one's kind of tricky to me. But like Bianca, obviously, she hasn't been around. Toni Storm hasn't been around basically all year.
The first match that I chose may have someone that may be considered not to be around currently.
Okay, well, we could do that. So I'm saying you pick somebody for the match, then I could pick somebody who's like go against, or like vice versa. Like, so you can start off picking from the pool, explain, just give like your reasoning as to why you want them to like be in the match, or whatever, and then then I can pick somebody else and we'll go from there.
All right. So the guy I'm picking is from AEW. Over the last year or so, he's definitely raised his profile, raised his game. He's gotten to like an amazing shape. And also has gotten out of the shadow of a former teammate who people used to compare him a lot to. So I'm talking about the proto star, Kyle Fletcher.
That's a good one, man. I like Kyle Fletcher.
He can. I mean, he has a great look. He's pretty good on the mic. I think he would do great in WWE if you ever wanted to go there. Any kind of promotion, like he's the kind of young guy that you can build a promotion around. And I think he's just getting better and better. So
man. I mean, so like he's what 26 years old, I think 27, not even 30. A lot of people were talking about like who like the young guys who are coming up in WWE or wrestling in general. You would hear the mentions of like Obafemi and Braun Breaker, but I think Kyle Fletcher is like right in that on that echelon of those guys as well in terms of like being future stars in this wrestling business. So that's a good choice. And
he's 27.
27. Yeah, see, I was right. And you got somebody who you want to like kick off the show with a banger, right? Or like get the crowd hyped, and that's a great choice to go with. Damn, so I got to pick somebody from the WWE roster who I would put him against. And I'm trying to think right now, who would I put him against? That's tricky. You know what? I'm going to go with... Yeah, actually, you know what? I think I'm going to go with Braun Breaker to open this match up.
Okay,
you know why? Why? Intensity's there. Their speed, the athleticism. I think that they would be able to like work well with each other, but they have the potential to work well with each other. You can build it as like the matchup that can determine like the future of the industry in terms of like who's going to be like the face of pro wrestling. Guys like young in their prime, so much upside. They both get high praise from their peers and from the older generation as well. So yeah, I think I would think that you would get like a big, great crowd reaction. You could, if you wanted, like do like multiple like counters and everything, and then like close near falls and everything. Like that would be a great opponent for Kyle Fletcher, and it's more like technical versus like strength and quickness.
They have like a good like, styles, like kind of I don't want to say styles clash, but like Braun has like the kind of physical thing. Fletcher's kind of like a showman. He's flashy, but he's also like very athletic. I think that would be dope. Like you said, like a fight for like who's gonna be the face of the company in the future.
Yeah, so I would think that would be good. Okay, so we can move on to our next match on the card. Um, so we got off the board, we got Braun Breaker, and we got Kyle Fletcher off the board, so that's good. I'm trying to think. So you can pick who would you have next in this match.
Okay. So I'll choose.
And by the way, if you want to pick a match, like a stipulation match, like a Hell in a Cell or 3-way match, whatever, you're welcome to do that.
Okay, so the I'm picking WWE superstar. He's kind of been cooled off over the last few months, but he still has like amazing upside. I'm gonna pick the Samoan werewolf Jacob Fatu. I would like to see like who he can compete with in AEW. Someone that can match his intensity in the ring. He's kind of like a super heavyweight, but he also has like amazing athletic ability. So I'll be interesting to see like who he would face off with in AEW.
Yeah, man. Like we talked about, like Jacob is kind of. I don't like what they're doing with him now. Personally, him like kissing the ring of one Roman Reigns after he lost to him, and what PLE was that? Was that after Mania? So that was Backlash, right?
I forget if it was Clash in Paris or it might have been, or even after Backlash. I forget. He lost like twice in a row, I think, to Roman.
Yeah, man. I feel like he should like be his own like individual and everything, and like really be catapulted to the championship scene. But like I said, I love the fact that he has to move as agile as he does and to be as athletic as him is crazy. So yeah, that's a great choice. All right, so let me pick somebody from AEW. Looking at this list right now, I think I would go. I'm going with Brody King.
Yo, I wrote that down. Brody King versus Jacob Fatu.
You wrote it down?
Yep, I wrote.
I'm going with Brody. That's crazy. See, if you didn't say Jacob Fatu, I wouldn't have picked Brody. But I really think that those two guys can have like a all out slugfest that would go crazy. And I think that they would really work well together in the ring. Brody is athletic, I think, for his size, not to the extent that Jacob Fatu, but athletic enough and has the power and strength to match up with him as well. And they both got the crowd behind them too a lot. Like the crowd's behind them, Brody howling and everything, and the Samoan werewolf effect. Like, yeah. So yeah, that's actually that would actually be a fire match.
Hard hitting, physical.
You can say are both in terms of accomplishments are kind of similar. What they accomplished so far in the respective promotions, I think, is somewhat similar. Haven't really been elevated to the championship level, just like a tier below. So yeah, that'd be a great upper mid card. There you go. That's the phrase I was looking for. Yeah, so I would go with Brody King for that one. All right, so we're on now to the third match. So now we got Brody King and we got Jacob Fatu off the board. Are we gonna go with? Are you gonna? Oh, I wanted you to go first. I'll go first. Next one.
It's your turn. It's your turn because I picked Jacob.
Okay. So all right. So I think right now we need a women's match.
Yeah, we need the ladies involved.
Ladies to get TV represented on the show. So I am going to pick from the AEW pool, and I am going to go with somebody who I'm very fond of, that I really enjoyed their character work and what they have done this year. I think they have a bright future, and I think that Tony was smart to like re-up on them before she hit free agency and WWE had a chance to get their hands on her. I'm talking about the Toxic Spider Tekla. I am taking her. Great talent, great acquisition by Tony Khan and everything. I love what she's done in this limited time that she's had and then working for an American promotion. I heard people say that she gives them Luna Vachon vibes. I thought that exactly when I first seen her.
Definitely. I just sort of that like off kilter, you don't know what's going to happen next kind of attitude, like definitely Luna
Yeah.
vibes. Yeah.
And I do think that if she was ever in WWE, she would be in, obviously to be a bigger star, just solely off the fact that that's the biggest promotion in the world. But like people, what I think she would gravitate with the WWE audience like so like perfectly. She'd be a little watered down in terms of like her promos and what she does in AEW because they all market to kids and the more PG content and everything. But yeah, I would take the current AEW Women's Champion Tekla in this match.
Okay. So I'll put her against Tiffany Stratton.
Ooh.
That would be like kind of an interesting match. I mean, Tiffany, she's the current United States champion. She hasn't been as white hot as she was in the past, but definitely still very solid in the ring. Also, just like the differences in personalities, she's like kind of like the girly girl, more straight laced. Tekla's the kind of girl who will like, drink vodka martinis with you all night. Like that, I think that would be kind of like interesting matchup. And yeah, I don't know who would go over. I don't know who would go over in that, but
Yeah, both are relatively young in their wrestling careers. Obviously, like I know she's a lot younger in age. I would say Tiffany Stratton is, but at the same time, I do think too that they could potentially work well together. I think that that's something that Tiffany Stratton is someone that can learn off of Tekla, off all the information that she had being in Japan and everything. That they can like bounce ideas off of each other and everything and learn. And they could actually put forth together a really, really good match. And to your point about Tiffany Stratton, yeah, she has cooled off for a while. I wonder if she was hurt after when she lost to Jake Cargill because she was off TV for a while, if I remember correctly. So I wonder, was she dealing with an injury at the moment, or was there anything? Was she doing like a movie like that? We don't know, or working on projects outside of WWE. I don't think I've ever heard anything about that.
I mean, I think right now the woman's side is pretty stacked, even with the injury to Rhea. And I think maybe there really isn't space for her right now in the main event because it's like Liv Morgan's killing it right now. Io, um, Becky Lynch is always still like in the conversation. So I just think like, right now, Tiffany's holding it down with a mid card title. She's being consistent. So yeah, I think that'll be like interesting.
Yeah, so I think we got some bangers here so far. 3 matches in.
Okay. I haven't really thought about like, all right, what's gonna be the opener? Like what are the mid card matches? Okay, so am I picking a I'm picking a WWE wrestler.
Oh, you can pick either. Like you can either pick WWE or AEW. Then I was gonna go with the opposite promotion. So never want to do.
I know you're not a big fan of this guy, but for me, he kind of represents old school, not only in his ring style, but also the way that he carries himself, the way that he cuts promos. He's not the kind of heel that's trying to go in there trying to get the cool heel heat. He's just trying to get under the fan's skin and just. I'm talking about the Ring General Gunther. I'd love to see Gunther in the ring against the best that AEW has to offer.
Yeah, okay. The Ring General Gunther, who's had one hell of a run. I mean, I think WWE stumbled with him recently with creative. I mean, after retirement, the likes of John Cena and AJ Styles, you'd think that they would have something better for him lined up in 2026, but nonetheless, here we are. That is a good choice. And I think I got somebody. Oh yeah, okay. I got somebody for Gunther, who I think would actually work well with. I think that they would definitely mesh in the ring. Guy's not because this guy's not a mat technician, a slugger, who is familiar with that promotion. Something that you're really not fond of. I think you're not fond of that. I remember the leader of the Death Riders, John Moxley.
Moxley, all right, that'll be interesting. That'll be, I don't hate Moxley. I just think the Death Riders thing is it's not the best angle. But yeah, I can see that that'll be very hard hitting. Very hard.
And what if we can have like a match that is gonna like a stipulation with that match where it's gonna lead more turns AEW in terms of like the blood and the like outrageous like props that are used and everything, like I don't know, thumbtacks and bricks and cylinders. I don't know.
Off the
Like,
top of my head, I was thinking like a bull rope match or a strap match or something.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that. Something
There we go.
hard-hitting,
So
physical.
a stipulation match.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or a Texas death match. Okay.
Yeah, I could see Gunther doing that.
Yeah.
It'll probably be the first time that Gunther like wears a crimson mask like ever. Like, you know, like, he never bleeds. He never. But with Moxley, he'll have to.
So wait. So you're still not a fan of the Death Rider story? You're saying? I'm guessing. So I'm guessing you're not a fan of what they're doing with Ospreay.
It's interesting. It's interesting. Like they're like how they brought in Will Ospreay and how they're trying to give him like more of like a sadistic side, and he's following it now. Like he beat some dude like in TKO fashion, I think last night, like with strikes to the back of the head repeatedly. So I think they're doing a good job. But I also think there's just a lot of redundancy in the group. Like I don't think any group needs Wheeler Yuta and Danny Garcia.
Yes, like, I agree.
You know, I think for me it's like what has always made a good faction is that like every member of the faction contributes like in some way that is differentiating. Like if you talk about, I think one of the best factions of all time, like Evolution, like all the members, like Triple H was the current guy, the leader. Ric Flair was like the old veteran. Of course, like Batista and Orton, like the young guys, but Batista was the muscle. Orton was like the young, cocky guy. It's like they each had archetypes. But if you look at the Death Rider, it's like, okay, you have Moxley. Marina Shafir, I think she's very good at what she does, sort of just like
being the muscle, being the China
being their China. And then, but then like, you know, you have Claudio. I think Claudio's also kind of the muscle of the group. But then it's also like you have Pac, Wheeler, and Garcia, and those guys sort of occupy the same role, which is the guy who's gonna get pinned like in multi-man matches. So like I think bringing in Ospreay has made it more interesting and fresh.
Yeah.
But for me in general, the Death Riders kind of go against what I believe a faction should be. I think eventually it might lead to Ospreay versus Moxley for the title if they break up, you know.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, like I said, I think it's more intriguing. I'm not like blown away by the creative and the whole Death Rider. I wasn't a fan of Death Rider to begin with when it initially came about. But I thought as time got along, I thought Tony was doing the best, made the best of what he could with that faction, based on how much he fumbled originally, in my estimation. So I'm like, it's whatever right now. Okay, so we are 4 matches in to our PLE / pay-per-view, whatever you want to call this. So is it your turn to choose or is it my turn?
I can go.
Okay, so are we gonna do? Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I'll pick. Who did I pick? I'll pick a AEW guy. I mean, I still think he's the top guy in AEW, whether or not he has a belt. Still cuts the best promo. He could do a technical match. He's done Ironmans, but then he's also done these like insane hardcore matches. You know, he still gets genuine heat. I think it's Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF. He's a guy that should be on every pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And you know, a couple of years ago, someone that may have gone to WWE. And I think he would work really well with a lot of like the top guys in WWE.
Absolutely. I said that I think that if Tony was allowed him to get away to WWE, that would be like a self-inflicting wound that he probably could never recover from, just because I think that that's how much potential I see in MJF. And I do think that he can be to WWE what Rock and Austin were for the Attitude Era, even what Roman and Cody are for this current state in WWE. 30 years old, so much more wrestling in his ahead of him and everything. Great on the mic and a very underrated in-ring worker as well, which is crazy. That's how much people enjoy his work on the mic that they overlook the fact that, hey, he also can go on the ring. We've seen him do great, amazing promos while having multiple Iron Man matches with Bryanson and Will Ospreay on his resume. So I like that choice, MJF. So it's only right that you pick MJF because I knew that if you were to pick MJF or if you were to pick this guy, then I'd have to pick MJF, and that's Roman Reigns. Just because of the fact that these guys are the two biggest stars in their respective companies, that you got to have something that's going to bring eyeballs to your product that you know is going to help fill out that arena or stadium that you're in. The Tribal Chief versus the Big Hero. That match, I would pay big money for. That's what they call themselves. So.
Yeah, I know. I love that.
Yeah, so I would go there, and I don't think that match really necessarily needs a stipulation, or you can have it for like ultimate supremacy, like bragging rights, kind of like what we had, like with. Well, we didn't really have this because we didn't get the real WCW when they did the invasion angle because so many guys didn't go that we cared about because of contracts. You know, like the Hogan, the NW Hogan, Hall, Nash, Sting, Goldberg, Flair, all like weren't involved in the angle, which was like at that point, why even do the angle if these guys are not going to be there? Because that's the real WCW. But like in this sense, you can kind of like maybe do like somewhat like an invasion angle, and this is like for the battle of supremacy between both companies. Maybe you can do a 2 out of 3 falls type scenario, or maybe in the Hell in a Cell. Like I said, I think MJF is built for any type of match. Roman, I think he gets a little flack. I still haven't seen the match for Mania with him and Punk, but people said that was an amazing match, and it was I think even Dave gave it 5 stars.
Yeah,
and Dave's not one to give 5 stars for WWE matches, hardly ever it seems. So.
No, I think that might have been the last time he did. Well, actually, I think maybe I don't know if this counts, but the El Grande Americano.
I was about to say that got 5. That got 5 stars. Okay,
but I can see like MJF and Roman like weeks leading up to their match are just cutting like crazy promos against each other, like sort of like work shoot promos, talking about real life shit. You know, like I think that would be really interesting.
Facts. Yeah, no. Oh, that promo game. Those are like the best 2 guys in the business right now. Arguably, you can say. That would be amazing. That I would tune in to watch that like weekly, like leading up to a match with them, and that would go That would go crazy viral all over social media, all on YouTube. Yeah, you could really do some. You could do something big with that. Okay, so we're on to our 6th match right now. The contest. I didn't say 6. We can do 7. I said 6. We could add. I think we got to do 1.
We need.
Which I thought Roman thing could be the main event.
Yeah.
But okay, so let's do women now, right? So we're back here in WWE. Let me pick somebody from WWE. Damn, Rhea being hurt just sucks, and not having Toni Storm, sucks. Okay. I don't want to be obvious and do Mercedes because she's fought so many people in WWE. Although she hasn't really faced off
against new people. That was a different era, though. She's been gone for a while. It's been a different era. There's been a lot of up and comers since she's left WWE.
You know what? I'm gonna do this. We're doing a stipulation match, a triple threat match, and I'm gonna pick Mercedes Moné because I think it'd be a criminal to leave her off this card. Arguably one of the biggest, one of the biggest stars in the women's history of wrestling in general, who was a megastar in WWE, part of the 4 Horsewomen, someone who bet on themselves and actually took the gamble to go to AEW. Now, it did help that she got the back from Tony, but you still went to AEW, which was always viewed as less than WWE and an upstart indie vibe type promotion. But she actually went there, and people always criticize her about not putting people over. But time in and time out in her time with AEW, she has done the best at putting multiple women over, further enhancing the product. I felt like before she got there, women weren't like women matches weren't like treated with enough seriousness, as opposed to now with her being there. There's more emphasis on it. She should probably already have had a main event on a pay-per-view there. But yes,
No
I
woman
will
has
take,
had, no woman
which is
in the 7 years of AEW has main evented a pay per view.
crazy. So I feel like if it's gonna happen, she's gonna be involved in the match some way, somehow. So I will add Mercedes from there. And if you want to take two people from WWE or one from WWE AEW, you can do whatever you want. But I will add her
Okay,
this
so
triple threat match.
this is probably going to come out of left field, and I don't even know if you know who she is.
Soruka?
But not Solruka. So I mean, I don't really. I think this person is actually better in the ring than Solruka. So she is the current NXT Women's Champion, Kendall Gray. I don't know if you ever heard of her.
I heard of her before. I haven't really watched her work though. So put me on game. Like, why would she be good in this match? You think?
I mean, she just kind of reminds me of like a female Kurt Angle, like very map based, different variety of suplexes. She's very, very like fluid in the ring. She has an amazing look. She's someone that WWE, like when she gets on the main roster, you know, like WWE like would have an easy time marketing her. I think like in a marquee matchup like a triple threat, I think she would do really well.
It sounds like that she compliments Mercedes in the ring based on the description of her and her work. Like she would compliment her well, and they could like, then they could work well together potentially. There wouldn't be like a lot of hiccups as long as they had time to like get to know each other and know like their strengths and weaknesses. They can really put on a great match. What it sounds like.
And even though she's developmental, like she's ready. I think she's ready.
Okay, if you're working with Mercedes, she can make you look great, even if you have some flaws in your game. So that's probably a great reason to put her in a match with Mercedes Moné to help cover up any flaws that she may have, and you don't want to get her too exposed and everything. Okay, so you got her. So who are gonna add? Who are gonna add for the third person?
So I was thinking of someone that Mercedes Moné has faced pretty recently. Not necessarily in AEW per se, but she recently broke the Roman's record for consecutive days as world champion. I think Athena might be someone like the third woman to throw into that match.
Athena's amazing. Really, really, really good. I don't see why they don't just put her on AEW full time and take her off Ring of Honor. It's probably to help to get eyeballs on the product. I'm guessing to keep Ring of Honor relevant. But man, she's just too good to be delegated to that. I think she got to be on the premier flagship brand of Tony's company. She should be on Dynamite, Weekly, or Collision.
Yeah, I mean, she can have the belt and still appear on TV. So, yeah, I'm not exactly sure why she hasn't taken to the next level. I think she's someone who eventually should be at least contending for the AEW Women's World Championship. Maybe not right now because like Tekla's kind of doing her thing right now. But yeah, I think Athena should be a regular mainstay on television, not just ROH, which I don't even know. Like, I don't even know how to watch ROH if I wanted to. You know?
Yeah, I think you need that's the Sinclair Station app or something like that. Oh no, then the Ring of Honor have like a subscription based
Honor Club or something.
Yes, that's what I heard. I don't know. I think they're working on trying to. So I think Tony's still trying to get a television deal. That's the ultimate goal. I think that's one of his goals is to get Ring of Honor some exposure. But yeah, I think he just got to focus on AEW and help in building that. Not to knock it, because I've seen Dynamite did the best rating since 2024, I think. So it's kind of big.
786,000,
I think, yeah. And not including the max numbers. The max numbers I think max numbers are usually anywhere from 100,000 to 200,000. It's my personal opinion.
The thing is, we don't know. We don't know. That data has not been.
Because I watch it on Max. I have Max through YouTube TV, so I have the option of watching AEW when I watch on YouTube TV through Max. So I always watch it on HBO Max. I feel like the quality is better on Max. So I don't know if a lot of people who have YouTube TV feel the same way and just watch it on Max. All right, so we have one more match. What match would that be? You can make. If you know what, it kind of sucked that we don't have a tag team match. But I think that WWE just tag team division just so like they don't focus on it at all. Why even like it's gonna be hard to pick a match for that, but with WWE talent.
I think just for like booking's sake, maybe having a tag team match would be good.
All right, so if we want to do a tag team match, we could do that, and then we'll just end that card, and we can kind of like rearrange the order of the matches because we'll have 7 with this.
Okay, so not necessarily what they're doing right now, but just sort of like as a legacy thing, what they've meant to WWE over the last 5 years, like the Usos. I think when you think about tag team wrestling and WWE tag team wrestling in the 2010s and the 2020s, I think the Usos are definitely up there as far as their prestige as a tag team. And if there is going to be one team to represent WWE, I think it would be them.
That's a good choice because you want to have some like interactive moments with the crowd and everything, and Uso could come out there and yeet all day, get the crowd hyped for the match and everything. And then again, we talked about the Usos being a legacy act, who are one of the best tag teams of the past 15, 20 years, and any promotion in the industry. So yeah, that's a great choice. So all right, you go with them. I gotta go with the Young Bucks with Nick and Jack. I think that would be a crazy match. Now it would be some crazy redundancy with the super kicks. That would be like that would be the ultimate super kick party with those two teams facing up. But could you imagine how many spots they can do? That'll just be like God, that will go crazy, have the internet in a frenzy, and you could make it either a ladder match, a regular match.
A ladder match would be dope.
Yeah, between those guys, that would go insane. So yeah, I think all right. So I think that we did a good job of filling out this card. So we got Jacob, not in any order. We have Jacob versus Brody, Fletcher versus Breaker, Stratton versus Tekla, Gunther versus Moxley, MJF versus Reigns, and we got Mercedes versus Gray versus Athena, and we said Bucks versus the Usos. So if we were to rearrange this, I think we can agree right now that Roman and MJF got a main event because they're the big stars in either company.
There would have to be like some type of championship on the line, but I think that would have to by far be the main event.
All right. So like out of these matches, what do you think should be the opener?
I think Bucks versus Usos in a ladder match would be like a very hot opener. The ladder match for like tag teams.
You were absolutely right.
That's to get the crowd hot. That would just be a great way to start off the show.
I was gonna go with Fletcher and Brody. I mean Fletcher and Breaker, but you can miss me. No, you're right. We gotta make that our opener because that would actually be insane. Yeah, that would actually get the crowd very, very hyped. And I don't think that there would be you have to worry about a potential drop off based on other matches that we have, where you don't want the crowd to like get energy too high that it drags throughout the rest of the show. So that is actually a really good opener. For the second match, then maybe you want to go with a women's match. Maybe you want to go Tekla versus Stratton.
Yeah, I think so. That'll be a good spot for them.
So we got that right there for the second match. All right. So now the third. What do you think? I have an idea what I think the third should be. Do you have an idea what you think? What do you think?
It would either be Jacob versus Brody or Fletcher versus Breaker, and that's.
I had Jacob versus Brody.
Okay.
I had Jacob versus Brody. So let me just Jacob versus Brody. That match would be fun. I'd watch that match. I wouldn't try to miss any of that. So Jacob versus Brody we got. Okay, so second, third. Now, okay, so now we got. So we still have 3 matches left. What would be the fourth match we got between Tekla, Stratton, Moxley versus Gunther, and Mercedes? I think we got to go with the woman right now. And I'm going to say I would think it should be, if we're going to pick a woman, I think we should save that possibly.
Okay.
I'm thinking that. So what you think it should go? It would go next?
I mean, on this card, there has to be a cool down match just because that's the nature of
wrestling,
these kind of PLEs. So I'm trying to think what that would be. Maybe not a triple threat match, but Honestly, I think Jacob and Brody would probably be a cool down match, like maybe like a 12-minute hard hitting match.
Yeah, that match don't need to be longer than 15 minutes.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be. It can just be like, a bunch of high spots, very physical matchup. But they don't need to do like a 20-minute clinic or anything crazy like that.
Okay, so all right, so the fourth match we say a women's match, so we should put the triple threat Mercedes, Gray, and Athena.
Yeah, I think that's a good spot for them.
Okay,
Sort of
good. We
like in
got
the middle
fourth.
of the card.
All right, so I'm guessing
And
that you would
then
then think Gunther and Moxley. I'm guessing
Gunter and Moxley. Yeah,
because I had that too based on what we have left.
yeah. I mean, that's a match that could main event a pay-per-view, just not this one, because I think MJF and Roman is just such a marquee matchup that
Yeah.
Mox and Gunther would get overshadowed by it.
All right, and now we have the second to last match would be Stratton versus Tekla, which I think would be a great match. Maybe some people would debate with the place setting and everything, but nah, I think that match. I think the crowd would be invested into it too as well. I think it's actually a really good warm-up for the main event. I don't think you'd have to have like a really like close to a main event tier match necessarily to go before Roman and MJF. So I like that. Okay, so all right, we got a solid card here, man. Now, yeah, I said we should think of a name for the event, but whatever. Listen, I tell you, I could if I really wanted to, I could be a promoter in wrestling. I watched too much wrestling my whole life. It's easy. That's why I don't get like some people be messing up like booking and everything. Like, and no, maybe I'm just talking. I don't really know how hard it is, but I think there's certain things that you can get right that you really shouldn't miss on.
There's a formula
That's just me.
to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you watch wrestling well enough, even Westside Gun the rapper. I see him talking like he wanted to buy TNA, and he was saying, "Man, listen, I've been sitting front row at wrestling for years. I know it. I know it inside and out. But watching as a kid forever, like that's how I feel. Like I can do a decent job at this booking stuff if I had the opportunity." But
doesn't Westside Gun have his own? Doesn't he have his own promotion?
Yeah, Fourth Rope. I wanted to come to Boston one day, so I'll go. I mean, they have like guys like I know things about to leave now because signs a point that he already signed with WWE. Yeah, Zilla signed with WWE. He was their champion. I don't know if he was the champion at the time when it got announced, but I know for a while he was the champion. I've seen like who else went there? The Hearst and the Kid like wrestled there before. Like other AEW less guys wrestle like independent shows. So a bunch of AEW guys have like performed there. Hardy Boys performed there and everything on their show. So I want to go see one of their shows one day, but he hasn't come to Boston yet. He'd be out here a lot. He was at Collision on last night because he got to deal with the sneaker company Saucony and then Boston. So he's out here at the Saucony office all the time. So he got to bring the show to Boston one time. Just do it somewhere like probably do it at like
like AEW.
Yeah, or MJM.
Okay, yeah, that'll be interesting.
Hall and Fenway. Yeah. So hopefully, I'm gonna tweet him like, "Yo, you gotta bring that to Boston one day so I can go." I'm not trying to travel to the ATL or like Philly. Like, nah, I want to see it in my home state. All right. Well, that was a fun exercise. So, I think we are all set from here. Anything else? Anything else you want to touch on? Or
I'm trying to think what's going on right now in the world of wrestling. If there are like any controversies. Actually, I think it's pretty quiet right now. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see any controversies right now.
People are like pissed off about having the like celebrity involvement in WWE. Like last night, I don't know if you saw it, but Kat was there, Carl Anthony Towns.
Yeah. Yeah, and Jalen Brunson, because Fanatic Fest was this past weekend, MSG and everything, New York. So that made sense. And when Nick's fresh off a championship, WWE going to try to seize off that and capitalize to whatever extent that they can.
They're milking
it.
Yeah. I think Knicks fans they're going to be talking about that championship like for years,
forever. Because they're not going to win another one anytime soon. I know that for a fact. So they're going to milk that championship. Oh man.
But yeah, man. I think that's pretty much it. I can't really think about what's going on in the world of wrestling right now.
Yeah, me either. But all right, man, we can end it right now, man. I appreciate you for coming on. I'm gonna post this episode, and then I will talk to you throughout the week, and we'll chat like we usually do about wrestling.
All right, man.
Thanks.
Have a good rest of the night.
You too.